Hey guys, how you doing? I know in my last video I said I'm gonna film the next one right after this and you'll see it in a couple of days. Well, as you can tell, that didn't happen. Oh, by the way, do you like my nails? I know it's like beginning of October, but I'm just so in the Halloween spirit. Hence my super cute October budget spread. Do you like it? Let me show you. How cute. So for those of you who don't know, I do make my own budget stickers. I'm in the process of listing this. We all know how quickly that goes, right? No, but I want to get this up to you guys for those who want to use it. I know it's a little bit late and I'm working already on my November stuff. So that way, those of you who want that, you can get it. But yeah, look, my nails even match my budget spread. I love it so much. Somebody commented on my last video that was like, girl, life be lifin', and that's definitely true. I feel like anytime I have a spare moment to film any of these videos, I have to do mom stuff or work stuff or just regular adult stuff. It's a lot, but we finally have a spare moment. I'm on my lunch break right now, so I thought I'd go ahead and film this video for you guys. So this is my October budget setup. If this is your first time joining me, hi, my name is Emmy. I am married with 2 children, and this channel is all about my family's budgeting journey. I like to create content about how we budget our money, how we plan on getting out of over $200,000 worth of debt, different savings challenges, cash stuffing, sinking funds stuffing. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, then please feel free to like this video and subscribe if you want. No pressure. To all my returning subscribers, I did get a couple of new ones, so hi everybody, good to see you. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below so I know you stopped by. So the October budget is actually going to be from September 23rd until, oh goodness, something weird, like October 20th or something. Let me double check. Yep, October 20th. I actually have a weird date range for my October budget, because just where the pay dates fall for this month. So just keep that in mind. This isn't like a true October 1st through 31st type of budget. But I did account for certain expenses that I knew would be coming up for that time frame. I don't want to go through every single detail in my budget unless you guys really want to, but I figure that'd be a little bit boring. Just a general overview of how I organize. I do like to lay out all of my income first, so I know what amount I'm working with each month. And then I create tables based off of what is most important. So what is all of my money going towards first? And for me, first, that's all of the bills. These are subscriptions. These are monthly direct payments that get pulled out of our bank account every month in order to keep the lights on, in order for us to have running water, and then a couple of things that we probably don't need, such as Amazon subscriptions and Spotify and things like that. But those are our bills. Next is my debt payments, and so these are all the minimum payments that must be paid every month. And I do include my mortgage and my car payment, or my husband's car payment, in this category. I know a lot of people include that into bills, but for me it makes more sense because we are in debt because of those 2 things. So I include it under debt payments. Then after that, we have expenses, and these are all the other things that we need, such as food, groceries, gas money. These are things that don't necessarily come out of our bank account, but we do need them every month in order to live. And then whatever is left over, that goes towards savings. And hopefully we have a lot left over so we can put a lot towards savings. And we've been very fortunate that we can put a lot towards savings, and this includes sinking funds. I'm going to be putting in a lot more than normal this month, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. But yeah, so You're more than welcome to look through every single number if you really have that kind of time. But just know, after all of my income, subtracting all of the bills, debt payments, expenses, and savings, I do expect to have $69.86 left over as a buffer. And what's really great about that is I'm going to be depositing a lot more into my sinking funds. I'm going to be putting money away for my car, our Disney challenge, and I'm also putting in a humongous extra debt payment towards my Capital One credit card. So the minimum payment for my Capital One credit card is $65, but because I did get a pay increase due to my promotion, yay! And I also got a bonus this month, yay! So with the extra income, I could overspend and I could indulge, but I'm going to keep everything pretty much the same, trying to stay on a strict budget and put all of the extra stuff to things that I know will benefit us in the future. So that means putting $419 towards an extra payment toward that Capital One credit card. $219 is what the minimum payment would be for my braces, but I paid off my braces all the way until the end of the year, so my first $219 will not apply until January. So I'm just going to still put $219 towards debt, but it's going to be towards Capital One instead of braces. I hope that makes sense. And then we just had an extra $200 floating around, right? When does that happen? So I was like, hey, let's put an extra $200 with that $219, so $419 extra towards debt. I'm hoping to knock that credit card out pretty soon. What else is expected to happen? Oh, normally I budget us as a family of four spending about $1,000 a month on our sinking fund categories. But I increased that to $1,200 because this month the state fair is coming to town, and it's a bit of a drive for us in order to get to the state fairgrounds, but we do like to go every year. Our kids love it, and I, for one, like going to the fair for all of the food, not necessarily the rides. But anyway, so I expected tickets and food and gas getting there would be about $200. So that's where the extra $200 is coming from. Is that it? I think that's it, my friends. Okay, so what I decided to do for this month, and I did in September as well, I just didn't really have a chance to show you because I was slack on filming all of my budgeting, but what I did is I created weekly check-in sheets. So instead of having my sticker layout of what I used to do, let me see if I can flip back to a good example. Like here, I used to do weekly check-ins for the week. And so I would just write down how much we spent this way. And it's all on one page. I wanted to keep track of everything, not just the expenses that happens each week. So I just printed out the 4 weeks of October that are going to happen for us and just broke it down this way. I don't want to go through everything that happened again because I don't want to bore you guys to death. But we just ended week 2 for my family, which again, I know is weird that it's like beginning of October, and for us, we're already into week 3. Oh, that's crazy. But just to kind of summarize what all happened, you know, the highlights of it all. I did overspend on my budget in week 1, but we were significantly under budget for the food. And so all of that kind of canceled out to having $9.85 left over, which I decided to put towards the penny savings challenge. I think what I need to start doing, I just need to cash stuff. I know I say I don't have time, but like I cannot be trusted with a credit card. I cannot. Or maybe I should increase my allowance because obviously, no, I don't want to do that. I've done it before, having $40 for an allowance. I've done it and I can do it again. I don't know. I think my mentality has changed because I'm like, woohoo, promotion, and I just want to spend everything. So anyway, everything was pretty good. We ended up rolling over $3,538.04, which was about, what, $10-ish different. from what I budgeted, which is great. So all of that rolled over into week 2. And week 2 is pretty good as well. Our American Express cashback rewards came back a little bit earlier than I thought. Usually that's like the middle of the month when we get that, but we got $65.22, and I only thought we were going to get $50, so that's really good. Bills were normal, debt payments normal. Expenses, we overspent in food this week. And we also, look how close I was. 92 cents over budget. I don't care. That's still a win. After being like $20 plus over budget for the past like 4 weeks, I'll take being 92 cents over. We're not spending all of our gas money every week. So I don't know. I guess I can't find the sweet spot of what our gas budget should be, because one month I budget way too much, another way too little, and now I thought I found the middle, but we're still not spending it all. So I'll have to reevaluate that for next month. But when I figure out the overspend in food and my overspend, I didn't have anything left over to put towards our penny savings challenge. But we still did roll over the month with $1,026.40, which is about $10 less than what I had budgeted. Still really great. So we are currently in week 3 for my family. So week 3 is the 7th of October until October 13th. There's our rollover. I did get my paycheck with a little bit of overtime, and I got a bonus of $400. That's so exciting. So we got some bills coming out. The only thing is Amazon Prime did not come out on the 5th, which it normally does. So it should have come out last month, last week, but it didn't. So I rolled it over to this week when it's going to come out. And then trash. I thought I calculated trash correctly. They bill us for trash every 3 months, and I thought I sent the correct payment, but for some reason we are short $27.41, so that's how much I owe them for this quarter. This is the time where I'm going to pay my Capital One minimum payment and then the braces payment, but that's going towards the Capital One credit card. And I'm going to hope that we stay within budget for all of these expenses. And here's how we're going to do it, friends. We are going to cash stuff. Yes, we are. So we have $280. And again, my food budget includes eating out and groceries. It's all grouped into one category. So $280 this week. My husband gets $100 for his spending money. Normally, I get $40 a week. But since I overspent these past 2 weeks, I calculated how much I would have left for the rest of the month. So let me show you how I did it. I get $40 a week, and there's 4 weeks in October. So I get $160 a month. Now I overspent in week 2, $40.92. And I also overspent in week 1, $61.12. $61.12. So that means I have $57.96 left for the last 2 weeks. If I divide that by 2, it's about $28.98. I want to have some money to put towards different savings challenges. So I just decided to give myself $27 for the next 2 weeks. So 27. So I should have $396 left over at least to put towards challenges. That is my goal. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense to me. So instead of giving myself the normal $40, I'm going to give myself $27 this week and next week. I'm going to keep that $105 just because that's what I budgeted already for the month. And we're going to be spending a little bit more in sinking funds because I am going to pre-order our fair tickets. So that's why that's a little bit more. And I'm going to deposit the rest of our sinking funds for the month to kind of top up those. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the cash stuffing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get out my cash binder here. And I already went ahead and took out the cash that I will be stuffing today. So let's go ahead and count all of this up. Not sure how much it's supposed to be. Let's find out. 280, 100, 27 instead of 40, and then 105. So it should be $512 that we're stuffing. Okay. So that is 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 500, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Awesome. I had to make do with the cash that I had on hand because the ATM only gives out 20s, so I had to do a bill exchange for what I had. So that's why our denominations are like this, but that's okay. It all spends the same. Okay, so first for food, we're going to put $280. So 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 80. Let me just make sure that's right. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 80. Yeah, okay, just making sure. Just making sure. Put that in the food envelope here. Next is my husband's allowance, and he actually doesn't spend cash. He usually spends his allowance on the American Express credit card, but I like to put it in cash and then use the cash from his envelope to pay off the credit card. I hope that makes sense. It might be a little bit unnecessary, but it's how I keep track of it. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 for my husband's spending money. Are you not unzipped? I thought you were. Yeah, okay. And for those who are wondering why he gets a lot and I don't get so much, my husband is a full-time teacher. He is a high school band director, and due to his schedule, he does require his allowance to eat a lot. That could be like snacks or dinner after late night rehearsals. He also goes to band competitions and football games, so he needs extra spending money for those things. And recently he hasn't been using it on that. Recently he's been very, very good and like only spending maybe $20 or $30 on snacks and then actually using his allowance for things that he needs. So like, or not needs, but things that he wants, which is what your spending allowance should be for, right? So he's been like, he bought a Bluetooth speaker with his allowance, and he stayed within budget. And last week, what did he do? He went out to a axe throwing place with some friends, and so his ticket for the axe throwing plus a couple of beers, so he used that as like social money, and that's really what your allowance should be for. So I'm really proud of him that he's able to pack some snacks, pack some lunches, so he's not spending all of his money on eating out, but actually spending it on things that he wants to do. That's great. For me, however, normally I get $40, but I apparently cannot be trusted with the American Express credit card. It's not too over the top, but I give myself 40 and I need to stick with 40. So as I said, I'm only going to give myself 27, 25, 26, 27. But we do have the Dice Savings Challenge to think about. So the Dice Savings Challenge is from Budget with Ira. He is a UK budgeter, and he has a whole bunch of different savings. So this is the Dice Savings Challenge. It comes with a little 20-sided die here, and whatever it lands on, I take that amount of money out of my spending and I put it in this envelope, and I'm going to make it as another debt payment towards my credit card. Let's see how much. Don't be cruel. Don't be cruel. Yes! 4. That's not terrible. Okay. So if I put 4, where was I at? Right here. If I put 4 in there, I can put $5 in. I'll move some stuff around, sorry. I can put $5 in and then take $1 out. That's what I'm gonna do. Here's $1. And we'll put $5 in. I haven't sat down to count how much is actually in this savings challenge envelope, and I kind of don't want to. I want it to be a surprise. And I think a good time to empty it and put a payment towards my credit card would be once I fill out a row. Here it is. Okay. Got 4. Oh, we already rolled a 4, so we're already onto a second row here. So we're missing a couple of numbers in that first row, but not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so that's the dice savings challenge done. So that means I'm working with $20, $21, $22, $23 for an entire week of spending, which I know some of you guys are like, oh, that's plenty. Or some of you guys, I don't know, maybe I'm spoiled. That's really what it is. I don't use my allowance on things that I want to do like my husband's doing. I use my allowance for eating out. I do work from home. So if I ever use my allowance, it's like eating lunch out or grabbing a coffee or a sweet treat like a donut or a cake. And I know I shouldn't be doing that. So any amount of money I should be grateful for, right? All right. Now, gas and transportation, we are going to have $105. That should be what is left over here. So let's just make sure. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I expect, just like the previous weeks, we're not going to spend all of this. But whatever's left over, that's great. You know, I'd much rather over budget for something than under budget for something, which is the mistake I made for September. All right, that's all of our cash envelopes stuffed. Sorry for the camera shaking. So let me write down before I forget here that my dice savings challenge, I ended up putting $4 away. And then for my penny savings challenge, I usually stuff whatever is left over from groceries and whatever is left over from my allowance. I don't transfer over whatever is left over from gas because if we don't spend all of the gas money for 1 week, it could be rolled over into the next week, just depending on our plans and things like that. So I don't want to stuff anything extra towards a savings challenge if we needed it the next week. And also my husband gets $100 every week, whether he spends it or not is all on him. Hopefully we'll have something left over for food and something left over in my allowance to put towards the penny savings challenge. So after this whole week is said and done, I do expect us to be left over with $1,256.74. And that's going to be next Thursday, the 13th. That's when this week is over. I'm going to roll that over into our final week for October. And here's our breakdown for the last week. I do expect to be paid from my side hustle baking business. This is where I thought the American Express was going to come out, but it didn't. So let me go ahead and make that adjustment there. I mentioned in my previous video that my husband is going to the Bands of America national competition. And he and a couple of friends are going to be staying the night for a weekend. So they got tickets to the event, plus they rented out an Airbnb. And in order for their tickets to all be placed side by side and to get the best deal on Airbnb, my husband used the American Express credit card to pay for all of that. And then his friends are paying him back periodically. And he is leaving November 11th for that trip. And so you'll see I marked in our income for this repayment. I'm not really sure when they're going to be repaying it, so I always budgeted 0, but I did want a line there just in case his friends did pay us a little bit. And I did the same thing here for week 4, just 0, but in case they do pay us. And no bills are expected to come out this last week. My husband's car payment is coming out as a debt payment, and this is where the extra $200 are going to go towards Capital One. My last week of expenses should be pretty much the same. Again, in order to stay within my monthly budget, I changed my allowance to $27. And this is the week that we are going to the state fair. We're going to be going on October 19th. It's a Wednesday, so I already took off of work. My husband took off of work. My son's going to be absent from school. We're going to make a whole day of it to travel and just have fun together. It's going to be awesome. So I expect us to spend a little bit more in sinking funds because of the food and the tickets for the rides. And yeah. So after my whole month is done, I should be left. Oh, that doesn't match. That doesn't match what I have here in my monthly, does it? Oh, it's because I didn't subtract yet. So if I take what was left over minus this, $69.86. Okay, that does match. I just didn't fill in my last box. Silly. All right. So $69.86 left over in our bank account as a buffer. I think that's a great amount, especially if we go over budget in any of our categories. But I'm really hoping that with cash stuffing, we don't go over budget this time. We'll have to see. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you guys are enjoying your day, and I hope you have a great weekend. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for sticking with me, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.